Yeah, I'll just make a brief statement. Good win for us. We certainly didn't play our best. We've been off for 10 days. Give Western Michigan because once we got that big lead, they didn't stop playing, and they cut it, made it a really close game. But we made some big plays down the stretch that you need to win these games. And glad we got the win, and we'll move forward from here. I'll let you ask Jalen and Vaughn questions.
I guess just for both of you guys, when you guys are playing against a team who just won't go away, like they were going to let you go up 10 and they cut it to 5, and it just keeps going back and forth, how does that affect you guys mentally when earlier, basically this season, you guys have been able to pull away from everybody, and that this team, it is a conference game, so it's going to be a little bit different, but just what's that feel mentally when they just won't go away?
Honestly, I think we was definitely ready for that. Coach said every conference game is going to be a battle. Every conference game is going to be tough. No team's just going to go away in conference. So I think we was ultimately ready for that, and we executed down the stretch and made a lot of good plays to finish up the game.
And Jalen, just when you start having a lot of shots fall and everything just seems to be just going your way, how does that feel for you mentally?
I mean, of course it feels good, but I just want to win. And to follow up on what Vaughn said about that last question, I think it was more on us than them. Every time they cut into the lead, we just got stagnant, and we just got to close out games better. But we took care of home court, so that's all that mattered.
And then just speaking at home, you guys have a lot of success at home this year. It's now 7 straight wins at home. I guess just what's the feeling of playing at home, and why are you able to have so much success here?
Definitely just the fans. We appreciate all the fans coming, especially it's break now, so we didn't expect a lot, but a lot came out today, and we definitely appreciate that. But you got to protect home court for sure.
And then just once they went on that 13-5 run and cut the lead to 2, and then Giovanni gets the 4-point play to really end the run for you guys on the scoring drought. What does that feel like when you see your teammate do that and really break it and just maybe re-energize the team?
Just want to give him a hug. That's what I wanted to do. It was a huge shot, and I was really happy for him and our team. So.
Definitely, we needed that for sure.
And then just as Coach said, you had the 10 or 11 days off. I guess just how did you spend that time just trying to stay ready when that's not really – I mean, you're used to it, that you have that break in between conference and non-conference, but just how do you stay ready when you have that much time off?
Just going back home, trying to stay in shape. We came back. We definitely was working hard this past week, just trying to get ready for conference play and just trying to stay mentally focused for everything. So definitely give it up to Coach for getting us ready for just our first conference game.
All right, fellas. Good job. Appreciate it.
Just when you see the way your team started, just defensively, you could maybe credit the offensive struggles there, just not a lot of reps there in the live game action, but the way the defense was able to just come out and really set the tone as it has all year for you.
Yeah, I thought this was probably honestly our worst defensive game of the year, especially in the second half. Like we really didn't guard. Now in the first half, defensively kept us in the game a little bit because we really made it difficult for them. But in the second half, we need to do a better job there, especially once we took a big lead, to shrink the court. We messed up a couple of matchups. Lamar Norman, who's a great player, got to the basket pretty easily there in the second half. But again, we got to learn from this and understand like we're going to get everybody's best shot, and we got to be focused for 40 minutes because, we're for the margin of the margin for error in league play is much smaller than in non-league play. So everybody knows your players, everybody knows your person, your plays. So your focus has to increase even more. So it's good to learn a lesson in a win as opposed to having to lose a game to learn a lesson. But we need to learn from that because we were up 17 points with 6 minutes to go, and it became a 2-point game, as you mentioned. Gio hit a big 3, and Vaughn got a huge offensive rebound. And give Western credit for not going away, but there's a lot of things we need to do better during that stretch that we didn't do. So we'll learn from it. We'll get better. It's early in league play with it being our first game, but we've got to make sure that our focus gets even better. And some of that I do think is due to a 10-day layoff, not playing in a game for a long time. But some of that's also focus that we need to improve upon.
And then just your thoughts with the way the bench performed today.
Yeah.
A lot of foul trouble and
Yep.
two starters fell out of the game.
Yeah.
Just the way they were able to trying to pick up what was being left out.
Yeah, awesome job by by Chris, Jalen, and normally Myron has started. Vaughn started tonight. Really great job by those guys. We give out like a belt for who has the most hustle plays and things like that during the game, and Chris got that. We were plus 17 in his 18 minutes. Like, his energy really impacted us, and he's practiced really well. So he's getting better. He had 8 rebounds, which is his high. He's getting better. So that's good for our team because we need all of these guys in order to be successful.
And then just with so many fouls being called through the game, how difficult is it for players to just maintain momentum when the game's kind of stopping and starting a lot there from a lot of the fouls?
Yeah, I'm sure that has an impact, but we have to adjust. The other team has to adjust. To our credit, again, 23 for 25 from the free throw line. If you really look at the difference in the game, that was probably the difference in the game, is that we did a great job from the line. So when teams are paying so much attention to Sin in particular with the ball in his hands, when we move it, we're able to drive and get people in closeouts and put teams in a bad in a bad spot defensively where they have to foul. I think we did a good job with that today.
And then just what impressed you tonight?
Well, I guess our resolve there at the end. Sometimes those leads shrink. Sin fouled out. Sometimes those leads shrink as quickly as they did, and you can't recover from it. Huge, like I said, a huge play by Gio there, the 4-point play. A huge offensive rebound by Vaughn allowed us to sort of seal the game, and that would be the thing that I'm happiest about. That we showed the resolve to find a way to win when we weren't playing great.
And then just lastly, just how important is momentum, especially in conference play when you have 2 games under your belt?
Yeah, to me, momentum is just your most recent game when it comes to the league. So if you win your game, you're hot, and if you lose, then you're desperate. And I don't know. We play Miami on Saturday. I know it was a close game. I don't know. They played Central tonight. I don't know if they ended up winning or losing, but they lost. So they're going to be desperate on Saturday. So we have to know that that's how the game's going to be. They're going to be desperate coming into the game, and we have to be incredibly focused so that we can get a win. Okay, awesome. Thank you for being here today, too.